Which lineups could break out in 2024? Find out next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Wednesday, January 17th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Scott White. And every year, there are a couple of teams that break out, their lineups break out, and we see excess value in the counting stats. Last year, the Texas Rangers. They finished third in runs scored. The year prior, they were 12th. So we're going to go back and forth, Scott. Your number one breakout lineup, the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a trendy choice given all the exciting young hitters they graduated just last year, many of whom still retain rookie status. And, even with some of the growing pains that were happening, then they were still ninth in runs scored. So I don't think it's a big leap to see them going to the top 5. Elly De La Cruz, we see somebody we talk about having first round potential for fantasy. So I guess he would be the biggest potential star there. But then you also have Noelvi Marte, who came up late last year, delivered big exit velocity readings. There's power speed there. He's in my top 100 prospects. He's actually number 9 is Noelvi Marte. So I think he has star potential. We saw Matt McClain make a huge impact as a rookie last year. Spencer Steer as well. Jonathan India is a former Rookie of the Year winner. Christian Encarnacion Strand, huge numbers in the minors. So, if Elly De La Cruz lives up to that first round potential, if Spencer Steer and Matt McClain just continue what they were already doing, if Christian Encarnacion Strand turns in that 30 to 35 homer season we believe he's capable of, then this lineup could really go places. And even some of the weak spots, TJ Friedel, I mentioned Jonathan India, Will Benson, good on base skills. So they bring something to the table that's more valuable in real life. I would say maybe the one thing working against the Reds lineup in terms of their ability to create a lot of runs and RBI for their batters is just that there's so many of them, they might rob at bats from each other, as opposed to the Rangers lineup last year, where it was basically the same guys in every day.
All right, from your number one team, the Reds, to my number one breakout lineup, the Red Sox, who were 11th in runs scored last year. And I just see a lot to like here. Big fan of a lot of their pieces. Rafael Devers, obviously a top 20 hitter in all of baseball. They have a high floor type hitter in Masataka Yoshida, going to make contact, hit for batting average, professional hitter. And then we have breakout candidates, Jarren Duran, Tristan Casas, who already technically broke out, but I think there's another level for him to get to. Willie Abreu, further down the list, showed us a little bit down the stretch of the season, hits the ball really hard, put up some big numbers in the minors. And then we have bounce back candidates. Trevor Story getting a full offseason. Last offseason, he had elbow surgery, did not look the same once he returned. We also have Tyler O'Neill, who was acquired via trade. I think we can get a bounce back season from him. They traded for Vaughn Grissom in the Chris Sale deal. So there's potential with Vaughn Grissom. We saw some power and speed a couple years ago. He makes a lot of contact. I am looking at this through rose-colored glasses, but I see a lot of potential for the Boston Red Sox lineup, and I am in. Scott, onto your number 2 breakout lineup, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, the St. Louis Cardinals, who already have some star power there with Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. We did see some signs of decline, maybe from both last year. They're in their mid-30s now, but they're both going to be drafted in the first 5 rounds in fantasy, so nobody's writing off those two, Goldschmidt and Arenado. And they're joined by some up-and-comers, the biggest being Jordan Walker. So-so rookie season, but showed improvement over the course of it, and still think the world of his potential. Nolan Gorman, huge power potential, took a step forward last year, could maybe take another. Mason Wynn, who's in line to be their starting shortstop. Jury's still out on how he rates offensively, but he put up good numbers in the minors, and we're thinking optimistically here. So I could see Mason Wynn being a net benefit there. And some of the less heralded types, Lars Nootbaar, Brendan Donovan, great on base skills. They'll be in a position to score runs in high volume, which will obviously elevate them up the fantasy ranks. So very interesting lineup here. I haven't even mentioned Wilson Contreras or Tommy Edman, who are fantasy mainstays as well. Edman probably more valuable in fantasy than in real life, but yeah, I would say the Cardinals have a lot of potential here.
All right, and my final breakout lineup is the Philadelphia Phillies. Kind of cheating a little bit on this one. They were 8th in runs scored last year, but now they're getting a full season from Bryce Harper. Trey Turner, he got that first year mega contract jitters out of the way. He finished really strong over the final 2 months. Looked great in the postseason as well. This is a deep lineup too. I mean, JT Realmuto is currently projected to bat 7th in this lineup. So big fan of the Phillies. I think most people know that they're already a good lineup, but I think they could really take that next step and become an elite top 3 offense in 2024. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Audacy app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.